friends, family, and newcomers. Welcome y'all back to the show. This is Be With Television, and we're here knocking out everything. On today's show, I wanted to kind of go over, we're going to do a brief, basic overview of doing some basic network troubleshooting. What I wanted to do, we're not going to go in real depth and detail. Like I said, this is going to be a basic steps to help troubleshoot network issues that you might be having. We all have, our high-speed internets at home and various devices connected. So from time to time, you wanna know what's on your network. You want to know if you're able to get out. Sometimes you might be having issues. You don't know if it's the service provider thing. Maybe if it's issues with your own equipment. So I'm going to step through a few processes that you can do to help troubleshoot connectivity and kind of isolate those things to help you figure out what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So when you're troubleshooting, first thing you want to basically look at or take a look at is rule of golden thumb, or the rule of thumb. Check that your device, whatever you're having issues with, check that your device, whether it's your modem, router, switch, whatever you're kind of routing stuff through, check for power. That's point blank. Go take a look at it. You want to make sure that things are powered up and you have a significant amount of power to do what you got to do. So if you see this picture here, so if you got power. If you look at your device, you'll see all the little lights on, and you can cut the light out, but that's really what you want to make sure first and foremost. Does my device have power? Once you've checked that out, verified that, then you can move on to your next step, which is to once you've checked for power, take a look at the device that you have that you're connected. Especially if you have a cable plugged into it. Whether you're plugged into a modem or your switch plugged into a device, or check the cabling. This is all physical, so you want to go take a look at the cable. Make sure it's plugged in securely. I would, take it out, plug it back in. Make sure you get a little LED pop-up on it. So most connections, most of your network jacks, whether it's on a switch or a PC or a laptop, you're going to see a interface jack that you plug in your cable that looks similar like this. And as you can see, you have two. One typically indicates a connection has been made. So that lets you know, hey, you got the cable plugged in and it has a connection. Now, the other one over here is typically what they signify as your blinking or your activity light, link and activity light. So you got your link, boom, and activity. Your activity light will, you'll see blinking going on, just that indicates that there's traffic moving. So that's the next thing that you want to check for, is making sure that your cable's okay. And if you have some suspicions that you got a bad cable, swap the cables out. So after we go on from there, so let's say you're still having issues. So our next point from there is to go ahead and get on the machine, one of your machines, if you have several that's connected to the network. Go ahead and get connected on one. Open up a terminal, and what we're going to do is we'll take steps through. You don't want to. We're gonna ping, which is it's a network tool. Most computers, PCs, operating systems have this ping utility. You wanna work down your network. So this will help troubleshoot from the local machine to your physical modem or your gateway device. So first thing, you want to ping ping, and I like to put a space -c argument in there. So this will let us, because this is Linux, you'll have to specify a number, ping count. So I just want to do a quick simple ping, count of 6, and I'm going to ping my own device, my own interface. So and my IP, or I could ping just a loopback address, 27.0.0.1. I think that's the loopback. And there we go. So pinging the loopback address, which all computers have a loopback address that's good for testing. So that lets us know that the interface itself on the machine is working. So that our TCP/IP stack's good. We don't have any issues there. Next step, if you hit that up arrow, let's go back to our ping. Next, let's go ahead and we'll ping our default gateway. So this is going beyond the local machine. 168. So you're gonna ping your default gateway. So I sent 6 pings out. I got 6 received, no packet loss. So what that's telling me is I got data moving from my local, and it's going to my modem. So it's hitting that default gateway. So and continue on troubleshooting. Our next step, this would be step number 3. Okay, what you want to do here is let's move a step further. So we know we're getting to the gateway. Let's see if we can get beyond. This will let us know if our traffic's getting off of our local network. So right now we've done our local ping. We've tested our interface. We've tested pinging to the default gateway. So we're going local to gateway. Now I like to just hit Google's DNS server. So let's say 8.8.8.8, and we'll hit enter. Awesome. Okay, so that looks good, and that just let us know that here we're getting out from our local network out to another place on the internet. For example, there's some place that's not within our local confinement of our own private network. So we know that that's good. That's basically it. I don't want to get too in depth into the ping tool. You can Google it. I mean, Google's pretty good at pulling up a lot of data information. This is just a basic overview to help you do some network troubleshooting. So, and that's our ping utility. Is good to help test one-to-one data communication. So from point A to point B. Next tool I kind of want to show you is if you're running Linux, which you should be, because that's all we talk about here is Linux. We big Linux folks here. So another is Traceroute. You can, I don't know if I have Traceroute installed, but you can, if you install Traceroute, that'll actually let you, it'll show you the hops. So each device that packet is going through, and this helps you see if you're hitting bottlenecks within your traffic. So sometimes you might be running into issues where it's not on your network. You might be having an issue that's off the network. That way, if you have to make calls, it could be a service provider issue. Sometimes that is the case. But you can install Traceroute, or another tool that I like. It's almost like a combination. It's a combination of the ping utility and Traceroute. This is actually called Match Traceroute, which you can install on your Linux box as well. apt. So you want to say sudo apt install mtr. That's Match Traceroute. I've already got it installed, so it's not going to install it for me again. And oh, I guess I don't. Oh no, I don't have it on this box I'm on. So let's do Match Traceroute. Okay, process. So that's our Traceroute. We got match Traceroute installed now. So you basically gonna to run this, you'll type in mtr and then the IP address of where you want to do a Traceroute to. So we're going to do the Google DNS address again. Hit enter. And what's unique about this will actually pop up a little GUI kind of interface for you. And what this does is it bounces along, shows you the hops all the way to the destination. And what this does is this does a continuous Traceroute ping. So you can actually see where the bottlenecks are happening. You see where how much how much percent of data loss you might be having. That's pretty straightforward. I don't want to go into it. It's similar if you just running, if you have and you install Traceroute itself, you'll get this same information here. Boom, boom. It'll show you each hop. It'll show you similar information. I like this because this actually does a continuous boom, boom, boom. So it'll eventually show you if there's any, like I said, any bottlenecks along the way. So I'm going to stop that for now. So that's our Traceroute or match Traceroute, which will help you perform a route of where your data is going. So whether it's a website or any other location, you can use this same tool, type in the address, and it'll route out the path that packet is going to reach that destination. And that's match Traceroute. So that's our secondary tool outside of ping. So far what we've done is we've to help troubleshoot our network, we've done one. We've physical inspection of the cable, basically, which is we check for power. Then we check our network, our Cat5 cabling, to make sure, see if we have any link inactivity. Once we establish that, we go on and we utilize our open up our terminal. We run our first software tool, which was ping, the ping utility. We ping the loopback address, which is the local. That allows to test that TCP/IP stack. Once you do that, you move on, test your default gateway. That's it's going to be your router, your modem, whatever device that sets up or contains your private network or your home network, your business network. Ping that default gateway. See if the traffic's hitting that. From there, if traffic's going through. From there, see if you can ping outside your gateway. So choose some type of either web address or IP address of some remote host somewhere out on the internet. See if you're getting responses back. So that we've done step one, which is our physical check of the cabling. Step two, we do our ping check. And then we on to step three, which is we do a Traceroute to see where the traffic's going. That lets us, like I said, lets us know if we have any bottlenecks. All right, so from there, we do match Traceroute or a Traceroute. The next utility that I think I'll talk about or kind of briefly show about that's a really good utility is Nmap. Probably one of the best out there, in my own opinion. Command line utility. It's been around for a very long time. Lots of development to its support. It's I'd say out there, it's what's considered to be like the king of network tools. Now I do have Nmap installed on here already, so I'm not going to go through a process of installing that again. But I will tell you, Nmap will do the same thing as ping. Nmap will let you run trace routes as well. One thing that I think in Nmap it'll allow you to do a network sweep, and get all the host addresses or hosts that are on your network. It'll allow you to see if you have any open ports on a specific machine. So these are things you want to kind of periodically you want to run, especially if you're a small business or any business or even a home user. You want to make sure you don't have any outside threats trying to get in on your network. You don't have anybody that's encroached on your territory, so to speak. So I'm gonna show you the nmap tool. I'm gonna show you the nmap command to run to scan and see what's all on your network. So to do that, we have nmap. If you don't have nmap installed, you simply run that sudo apt install nmap. I've already got it installed, so I don't need to do that. Okay, let's clear that out. So we're going to see what's on our network. So we're going to say nmap space minus lowercase s and capital P, and then you're going to type in your network. So your actual network. So not your so whether your network, typically most internal typically are class C addresses. So and then you want to type in that and then /24 because this is a class C IP address. Now if you're using if your network has a 1.1 or you just want to take a look and see what your gateway IP is. Some might have, if you changed it, you just want to change this network address accordingly. So once you got that in there, all you just have to do is hit enter. It's going to take a little time. Bam. Shouldn't take too long, so bam. That's what we got. It says I've got 10 hosts up, and you can kind of scroll through and take a look and make sure that these are actual machines that are on your network. Okay, from there, that is the nmap. That's a network scan, so that's a good tool. You want to check and make sure that you don't have any unwanted guests, so to speak. Okay, another tool, you want to do a port scan, and I think, what was that command? Let me make sure here. Okay. Okay, so sorry. Next, we wanted to do a port scan. So let's go back up, and what we'll do, we're going to do a specific machine because it might take a little too much time to actually scan. I don't want to scan the entire network and see what all my ports open. You guys will. So I got a machine set aside here, and I'm going to scan it, and we'll see what ports are open on it here. So actually, let's scan here. I'll scan my local machine here. So 227, and we want to change the argument to space minus capital F, and this is basically a fast port scan. We'll hit enter really quick. As you can see here, it's scanned. This is my host machine, and I've got 2 ports open on this local machine. And that, folks, that's nmap, and that's scanning, that's checking for any ports that might be open. Now, if you want to, you can also run this against your WAN IP address. Run it against your public IP address. This will help if you're you have some suspicions. You want to kind of harden down your network, check, make sure anything's not open that shouldn't be exposed out to the public. You can run this from your run this against your public IP address, or the IP address you're provided by your internet service provider. This will show you what ports you have open, and that is that's the Nmap tool. So let's say you want to you're not sure. You say you trying to pull up web addresses and nothing's coming up. You can get out. Say you go back here. Let's say you did your ping. You did your ping. See what we have in here? We have an IP address. We typed in an IP address. So you can also do this ping with a what they call domain name, or for layman's term, like against a website. So we'll say www. Instead of the IP, we're going to do google.com. And what this will do, it'll do the same ping. Now, if you see this time, instead of giving us, instead of us just pinging an IP address and testing for one-to-one communication, by pinging a DNS name or a web address, this lets us know that our machine is resolving IPs to names. This is a good way to troubleshoot if you're having issues, maybe pulling up websites or anything like that. So if you are having issues resolving, you might take a look at your modem, make sure you have the correct DNS from your ISP, make sure your computer has the proper DNS address. Let's say you wanna check, make sure. Maybe I should have went through and showed you at the beginning of this, but Ifconfig, or what they're using now is IP address. So, but I'll show you both. So if you want to know the IP address of your interface, config. You go type in ifconfig. This will give you a little breakdown and to show you your interfaces. And as you can see there, I have my local Ethernet connection, network mask, broadcast, and my IP address. Now you can also, if you want to check your IP address, you can also type in IP space ADD for address, ADDR, hit enter. Now it displays it in a little bit different way, but you can also, it kind of breaks it down 1, 2, 3, 4, however many interfaces you have, and you kind of just go through. You can take a look and see, here's your interface, my same interface, and it gives you the link IP address, and actually gives you a CIDR notation of the subnet mask and broadcast, and tells you if the link is up or down, and a lot of other information like MAC address and things like that. So that is basically it. That's testing. We tested network connectivity from local all the way out to basically out to the public World Wide Web, utilizing ping, utilizing Traceroute application, which we used match Traceroute, and I showed you how to actually also use Nmap to scan your local network to show how many hosts are on your network. And we also used Nmap to scan and show any open ports. So all of these tools are helpful in troubleshooting, just doing basic network troubleshooting. There's a lot of capability out of each of these tools you can do in order to help troubleshoot and isolate things down further, especially with Nmap. Nmap is a very, very, very intuitive network, almost like a network Swiss Army knife. You can do so much with it. I mean, Traceroute, map, you can, it helps you troubleshoot your network, to a very high degree. Maybe I'll try to work and put together something that kind of goes through in another video that'll talk about some of the Nmap utilities and tools. I like and I enjoy using it, but I hope you guys gotten something out of this. I hope it's been helpful in helping you to troubleshoot any kind of small minor network issues that you might be having. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate. Reach out to me. I'm here. I'm all, I don't mind. I'm here to help. That's, reach out to me. If you do like the video, don't forget, please like, comment, and share. Leave the comments down below if you like this. I really would love to hear back from you, hear some feedback from you. Reach out to me. I think that's all I got for you today. So once again, I'm JC. This has been Be With Television, where we love technology. We love talking about it. I love using it. It's a big thing. It's taking over the world. So I hope this has been a very informative video for you. Got something out of it. I'll talk to you on the next one. I'll talk to you folks soon. Peace.